Imagine losing one direction of space. Suddenly you're completely flat, unable to turn, and your body is only a line. That's just the start. Let's climb from 0 dimensions all the way to 7 and see what happens to you, reality, and the laws of physics along the way. Today we're going to travel through dimensions, not sci-fi portals, but the mathematical directions that define what's possible. We'll move step by step, from the 0th dimension up to the 7th, and I'll explain what each level would mean for you, your body, and the universe. Along the way we'll use clear metaphors and real physics so this stays both fascinating and accurate. Ready? Let's go. 0th dimension. No directions, no movement. Start at the bottom, the 0th dimension. Here there are 0 independent directions. Squeeze a body into 0th dimensional existence and it becomes a single mathematical point. No length, no width, no depth, just a coordinate. If you were forced into this world, there's nothing to move along. Movement loses meaning. You exist as a point, but from the rest of the universe's perspective you effectively don't. It's the ultimate claustrophobia. No space, no escape, no future steps. 1st dimension. Only forward or back step up to 1 dimension. Now you gain exactly 1 degree of freedom, you become an infinitely thin line. You can move forward or backward. That's it. You can't turn around, you can't step aside. If another being appears ahead of you, you're stuck forever. Concepts like up, down, or sideways don't exist. For a 1D creature, any obstacle is literally the end of the universe. 2nd dimension. Living on a plane. Push that line at a right angle and you get the 2nd dimension, a plane. Suddenly you have length and width. Your world looks like a drawing on paper. To picture how limited that perspective is, think of Edwin A. Abbott's classic thought experiment, Flatland. A circle drawn in Flatland doesn't look round to a flat creature, it looks like a line segment. Why? Because a 2D being perceives everything as projections or cross-sections 1 dimension lower than itself. If you put your eye level with a tabletop and look at a coin from the side, you don't see a circle, you see a horizontal line. To discover the coin's true shape, a flat creature would have to walk around it and gather more cross-sections. Their world is full of perceptual blind spots. A 3D being looking down. Now imagine a 3D creature looking at that flat world from above. We see the whole picture at once, the flat house and the character inside it. We can tap the flat being from above without interacting with the walls that protect it from other flatlanders. That's a key paradox. A structure that's impenetrable from inside 1 dimension can be completely open from a higher one. 3rd dimension. Depth and our senses bring the plane up another 90 degrees and we're in 3 dimensions, our everyday world. Depth appears, and physics as we know it works. Important note. Our eyes don't directly see 3D. The retina records a flat 2D image. Your brain reconstructs depth using binocular disparity, perspective, shadows, and learned cues. In short, our 3D experience is a reconstruction, not a literal 3D photograph. Physicist Paul Ehrenfest pointed out something deeper. If space had more than 3 spatial dimensions, key features like stable planetary orbits or even atoms might not exist. Our 3-dimensional universe is finely balanced for the kind of chemistry and gravity that let life and planets form. 4th dimension. Time as a direction. Now let's make time into a coordinate and step into the 4th dimension. In physics, that's often how specialists describe space-time. Space plus time as a single structure. Hermann Minkowski famously recast time as a geometric direction, and that helps us imagine what a 4D being would see. Think of a movie timeline or a video editor's tape. You watch frames one after another, but the editor sees the whole strip laid out. A four-dimensional observer would see your entire life the same way, not as a sequence of moments but as a single, extended object. The temporal worm. If time is a direction, your body is stretched along it into a space-time worm. At one end is you as a newborn. Further along are every moment of your life. At the far end, an old you. There's no flow, no becoming, just a frozen monolith that contains birth, school, dinner, heartbreak, and death all at once. To a 4D being, your life is an object to inspect. They don't need to unlock a safe today if they can reach into the tape and pull out the moment when the safe was already open. Fifth dimension. Branching possibilities. The fourth dimension froze one timeline. The fifth introduces branching, the axis of possibility. Here we move beyond a single history into all the ways your life could diverge, a many worlds picture. Think of your life as a tree that splits at every decision or quantum outcome. In the fifth dimension, you're not a single worm but an infinitely branching fractal. Every choice, every alternate history exists as part of the whole. Video games like The Alters or narrative-heavy titles such as Detroit Become Human give a flavor of this experience. Multiple gamepads, multiple endings, all existing conceptually. Seeing the forest instead of the tree. For a 5D being, there's no single you. There's a forest of you. Every version that could exist given the same physical laws. They don't think in histories but in directions through a space of alternatives. That means fate and inevitability evaporate. The 5D viewpoint is a map of all possible outcomes under a fixed set of physical laws. Sixth dimension. Different physics push onward to the sixth dimension and you leave alternative outcomes for a single physics behind. Here you encounter entire universes with different fundamental constants and physical laws, gravity that's stronger or weaker, electromagnetic forces altered, atoms that can't bond. This is closely related to ideas from cosmology and string theory about a landscape of possible universes. In this realm, anatomy, as you know it, collapses. Bodies, chemistry, even the possibility of complex structures depend on particular laws of physics. Where those laws differ wildly, biological life, and even matter shaped like the bodies we know, may be impossible. Becoming information in the sixth dimension, you are no longer a human or a branching life story. You become an abstract informational structure, a pattern that connects versions of existence across different physical laws. That pattern is what remains when physics, chemistry, and anatomy are not fixed. Seventh dimension. The space of all illogical realities. Now for the seventh dimension, a big, almost philosophical leap. Collapse the entire infinite set of different law universes down to a single point and you reach the space of all illogically possible realities. This isn't a physical axis you can point to. It's a conceptual space containing every logically coherent universe, timeline, law, and story. The library of everything. Imagine a library that doesn't just hold books. It holds every possible alphabet, every grammar, every story that could be told under any rules. In the seventh dimension, there is no creation or destruction because everything that could exist already does, permanently fixed in the structure. Action requires change, and change requires time as we understand it. In 7D, change loses meaning. Why stop at 7? Why not keep climbing? Physics and mathematics let us calculate higher dimensions. String theory talks about additional tiny, curled-up dimensions. But beyond the seventh, descriptions stop being useful at a macroscopic level. Those axes represent microscopic geometries that our brains, shaped by three-dimensional evolution, simply can't intuitively picture. What this means for us, so take a breath. Return to your three-dimensional room. Your time flows forward. Safes remain closed unless we open them. Our senses only ever see outer shells. To see inside requires tools, probes, or breaking things open. We live in a narrow but stable incubator, a geometry that makes atoms, orbits, and life possible. Scientific reality and metaphor. A quick note on metaphors. Dimensions are useful ways to visualize different kinds of possibility. In real physics, time is dimension, many worlds interpretations, and the landscape of physical laws are active ideas with varying degrees of mathematical support. The way we use dimensions here mixes rigorous physics with metaphor, a combination that helps intuition but shouldn't be taken as literal travel instructions. The math is precise, our metaphors are tools for understanding. Final thought: whether you picture your life as a line, a worm, a tree, or a piece of information, the exercise reveals how deeply our sense of existence depends on the number and meaning of the dimensions we inhabit. Summary. We climbed from 0 dimensions, a point, up to 7, the space of all logically possible realities. At each step something important changes. Movement and perspective in 0D 2D, depth and stable physics in 3D, time as an object in 4D, branching possibilities in 5D, different laws of physics in 6D, and finally an absolute space of all possibilities in 7D. Memorable takeaway. Your everyday reality is both fragile and perfect. Fragile because it depends on a very specific set of dimensions and laws. Perfect because those dimensions give rise to atoms, planets, and life. Call to action. If you enjoyed this dimension tour, hit like, subscribe, and share so more people can explore weird and wonderful ideas like this. Want a deeper dive into any of these dimensions? Maybe the physics behind Minkowski spacetime or the many worlds interpretation? Tell me in the comments and I'll make a follow-up.